Hey, what's up, my fellow concert fans? We're in full swing with the concert season, and there's a new tour cranking up. It's a good one. We've got to talk about it. Morgan Wallen bringing the I'm the Problem tour out across the country. Kicked it off about a month ago, started in Houston. He's been to Miami, Madison, Wisconsin, Glendale, Arizona, and just recently he was up in Seattle. Every stop, 2 nights, been a Friday, Saturday night deal. He's taken out a number of people with him, and there'll be some others in the future dates. But in Seattle, he had Miranda Lambert, Ann Wilson, and Zach John King on Friday night. And on Saturday, Brooks and Dunn instead of Miranda Lambert. I immediately wanted to go to the Saturday show because I've never seen Brooks and Dunn. I didn't get a chance to see Morgan on his One Thing at a Time tour. And I had to think about if I had seen him before. And I remembered that he did open for Luke Combs back in 2019 when he was just getting going. And the set was so small, I barely remember it. So really, this is the first time that I'm seeing Morgan after all of these albums that he's put out. Let's talk about the tickets. Tickets are insanely expensive to shows these days. If you go to concerts, you know this. So when they first went on sale, I just was not even thinking about buying them. I was checking in every week or two just to see if prices would drop. They didn't. But about 4 days before the show, finally they had come down, and I was able to find a few seats 30 rows back from the stage, kind of next to the end of the catwalk, for a third of the price that they were going for when the show first went on sale. And that really is the play. Wait. If you have the patience, just wait. The ticket prices will come down. Before we get into Morgan's set, we've got to talk about Brooks and Dunn. As I mentioned, I had never seen them before. These guys, they are legends. It was awesome. And by the time they took the stage, the stadium was pretty much full. And everybody knows their music. And you even got the feeling that Kix and Ronnie were both feeling the energy of the stadium. They got out there on the catwalk too. They were loving it. It was really awesome. They sang 14 songs, played their big songs. Brand New Man, Red Dirt Road, Workin Man, Play Something Country, Neon Moon, Only in America, My Maria. I'll put the full set in the description. These guys are great. I hope that they keep coming around. If they do, I'm certainly going to see them again. So there was a good break that happened after Brooks and Dunn. The sun went down, and all of a sudden, here comes Morgan. And I guess there's this thing, the walk-in. I didn't know much about this, but in every city, there's somebody that he sees, a celebrity type figure during the walk-in. And so people speculate, well, who's it going to be? In Seattle, there were some ideas, and people weren't very far off. You're watching him walk down, and all of a sudden he turns the corner, and who does he see driving a cart? None other than Marshawn Lynch, aka Beast Mode. The stadium lost it. They erupted. It was so awesome, so cool. And, it really just set the stage for what was about to happen as Morgan was coming out. All of a sudden, Morgan comes running out from the middle. The pyrotechnics are going. People are jumping up and down. It's crazy. All the wristbands are going off. And the wristbands, that's a thing now. Do you guys like the wristbands? I kind of want to know. It's fun, but at the same time, you got this thing around your wrist. But anyway, it was neat. Let's talk about the set list. So 26 songs in all. 13 of them came from I'm the Problem. 5 from One Thing at a Time. 3 from the Dangerous album. 3 from If I Know Me. And 2 covers. I'll get into some of the specific songs, and I will put the full set list in the description of this video, but I want to talk a little bit more about the beginning of the show. He just had energy. He commanded the whole stadium, and one of the things that I like was that it didn't feel like it was over the top. And though in these shows, you've got pyrotechnics and things that are pretty common in these stadium shows these days, there weren't a lot of other things that were a distraction. And it just was about the music. People were into the music. He was singing the songs. People were singing them back, even all these new songs off of his new album. The other thing that I love he did was that he was all over the stadium in a couple of different places. He had these side stages off of the main stage, and you could see that there were people sitting all the way to these walls that typically are behind the stage. But he had a couple of small sets where he played to those people, and it was really cool. He had the B stage in the back of the stadium where he played a couple of songs acoustically. But he did a great job, really just using the catwalk, being up front, also being on stage. I've seen a few shows from some artists that will be in one place the whole show recently, sometimes just on the catwalk or only at the end of the catwalk or on stage. And why does the catwalk even exist? But Morgan did a great job being everywhere. So here's how he structured his set. He started with Ain't That Some, Kick Myself, I Got Better, Love Somebody, and You Proof. So he did those 5 songs, and then he moves to the first side stage where he sings 20 Cigarettes, Dark Till Daylight. Then he comes back to the main stage and sings Kiss Her in Front of You and Don't We. Before I keep going with the set, though, I want to talk about this display that he had above his stage. It was pretty cool. Not like one that I've seen at other shows where they have the multiple displays in the corner or a big one behind the stage or something. This one wraps around the front. And I thought his production crew did a fantastic job capturing different angles and transitions. And it just was really cinematic. And it was really helpful when he was on these different stages, like he is here on one of the side stages up front. Just really cool, and I thought it added a lot to the show. Now he heads out to the B stage where he sings 3 songs: Cover Me Up, I'm a Little Crazy, which is off his new album, and Sand in My Boots. And what was really cool about Sand in My Boots is that he sits down at the piano and just really plays this awesome version that captivated the stadium, that sometimes you feel like, okay, this is where the air comes out of the environment, but it really didn't. And I think a lot of that was just due to the way that he was taken in the moment. It was really cool. So he starts making his way back to the main stage, and something then happened that I've never seen before at a show that I can remember. The band is getting introduced on the display. Like, they're getting highlighted, their names, where they're from. I just thought that was super cool. I've never seen that happen. And they're out there and they're jamming, keeping the crowd, energized, but really ramping the crowd back up because Morgan's about to kick it into gear again as soon as he hits the stage. So he pops up on the catwalk and he goes right into Up Down and he's getting the crowd going. And then all of a sudden, the opener of the night, Zach John King, comes running out and just starts going after it with Morgan. And the stadium was loving it. All of a sudden, the energy was back from the acoustic set. It was pretty cool. And Zach John King told a funny story when he opened up that it was 2 weeks ago. He's sitting in a Waffle House and his agent calls him and says, "Hey, would you like to open for Morgan Wallen?" Clearly, he wasn't going to pass that up. After Up Down, he then goes into Cowgirls off the One Thing at a Time album. People were into it. And right after that, he goes into I Had Some Help, the collaboration he did with Post Malone, jamming both those on the main stage. And then he transitions into the other side stage to sing a couple songs off his new album. So he goes to the other side stage and he just shares a little story about Superman, how it almost didn't make the album because it just wasn't ready, but it did, and he was so glad it did, and we are too. It's a fantastic song. And then after that, he sings TN or Tennessee, both really great songs for that side stage. So then he hits the main stage for really the final set before the encore, and he sings off his new album, What I Want. Then he goes into Thinkin Bout Me, This Bar, More Than My Hometown, and Whiskey Glasses. Then the last song before the encore, he goes into I'm the Problem. And he has this intro. He's showing some of these clips, a little bit of just kind of maybe reflecting on the last number of months and the headlines. And he's moving into the song, and then about a minute into the song, all of a sudden, he picks up a gas can, and this is where the theatrics come in, walks down the catwalk as if he's just pouring gas all over the catwalk, lights a match, like he lights it on fire to light up the stage. There was a moment there I was like, there's no way there's gas in that can. Of course there wasn't, right? But pretty cool, just theater for a show that really was just focused on the music. And I just thought it was a pretty cool ending to the main set. Then for the encore, he sings Last Night, Just in Case, and The Way I Talk, and wrapped it. This tour is going to go for a while. It's great. Morgan is an amazing entertainer, clearly. If you go see this show, you may not hear as many songs off the last two albums that you would want because they were so big. And this one is also so big. I mean, I think 80 plus songs over 3 albums. It's incredible. I'd say by the time that Morgan comes to your town that these songs will become more familiar, but they already are. Everybody sang them from start to finish. You know, there's those moments at a concert where you hear the first couple of chords and people go crazy for the song, typically for older, more popular songs. For this show, it was almost the whole set. It's a great tour. Awesome. I would absolutely recommend seeing it. Make a point to do so when it comes to a town near you. Or if it doesn't, go see it. I certainly may do the same because I think this is going to be going for a while. That's my review. I'll be putting some clips up soon, and I'll be back with another review at some point. So until the next one, be safe out there.